Good evening, everyone. This is a conference meeting of the City Council of the City of Orange Township held in Council Chambers, City Hall, 29 North Day Street, Orange, New Jersey, on Tuesday, April 15th, 2025 at 7:03 p.m. Roll call. Councilmember Coley.
Wait a minute, he's here.
I'll come back to him.
Okay.
Councilmember Eason. Here. Councilmember
Here.
Hilbert. Absent. Councilmember Montague III.
Present.
Councilmember Ross.
Present.
Councilmember Summers Johnson. Absent. Council President Wooten.
Council President.
Here.
Can you just unmute real quick? I want to make sure that Councilman Coley can hear you.
Wait a minute.
Councilmember Coley. Councilmember Coley.
Councilmember Coley. Councilmember Coley, are you here?
Okay. Also present is Joyce Lanier, the city clerk. Tawana Bess, you're sitting in for Chris Hartwick? Oh, I'm sorry, LaQuana. You sitting in?
Yes, I am.
Yes, LaQuana Bess, the deputy business administrator. Oh, okay, we can hear you, Councilmember Coley.
I can see you, but I cannot hear you. And the pin is logged in, and I can hear you. He said, I think he said you.
Can you call in on the phone? Do you have the phone number to dial in?
Here.
I'm here. I'm listening to you right now.
Okay, we can hear you. Derek Brown, Fire Chief.
Can you see me
Now
now?
Clement, CFO.
Yes.
You can see me now.
Gracia R. Montillis, City Attorney. Marlon G. Towns, Legislative Research Officer. Vincent Vidiello. Is he a representative from the? Not here, okay. And Tricia Scipio, City Clerk's Office. Can we have a moment of silence, please? Thank you. Please be apprised anyone wishing to discuss agenda or general items shall sign their names on the comment sign-up sheet and will be allowed a maximum of 5 minutes to interact with the council. The requirements of NJSA 10:4-9 et sec, the Sunshine Law has been met. A notice of this meeting was sent to the Star Ledger, published in the record transcript on July 11, 2024, posted on the bulletin board in City Hall, the council's website, the city's website, and filed in the office of the city clerk.
Madam Clerk, we have no matters of discussion.
Okay, there are no matters of discussion. The resolutions and ordinances on the, presented tonight, council members, are there any ordinances or resolutions you wish to discuss?
Yes.
Councilman Ross.
Thank you, Council President. 49-2024. Just want to confirm that this is a change of ownership. 49-2024.
I'm sorry. I'd like to introduce you to the Assistant Business Administrator of the City of Orange Township, Ms. LaQuana Best. She will be here tonight for Mr. Chris Hartwick. And as that stands, Councilman Ross, we're gonna be voting that down. So I'll go over a list of what we're voting down now.
Okay.
So we're gonna be voting down 49-2024,
Yep.
50-2024, 51-2024, 3/2025, 9/2025, I think that's it, and we're gonna keep postpone to 2025.
Okay. You almost, my whole list. But, I think I have one or two on here that you didn't call.
Okay, Councilman.
And, let me see, 49, 50, 51. 2 is okay. 3 is down, 9 is no good. 19. 19 is the electric charging stations. I wanna know what are the designated locations for these charging stations? What are the costs and where's the money coming from? Are there any grants for this?
Good evening. As far as the locations, that has not been identified yet. The city did receive grants for the EV charging stations, but again, that has not been determined where the locations will be. But the actual ordinance is a state-regulated law as per Governor Murphy from July of 2021. So that we do actually need to have that particular ordinance, but as far as where they'll be located, that will be determined.
And you said this will be taken care of by all grant
There-
money?
There are grant funds, not the total amount, but there are grant funds. Right now, we have, the grant fund should cover 2 charging stations, if I'm not correct.
How many are we anticipating on installing in the city? Do you know?
That has not been a set amount.
Okay. 2/19/2025. This is Panoni Associates. Can you just explain to me, because it says it's to provide professional condition assessment services for the city. What does that mean, and what is the need for this service?
This is actually an assessment of the roadways that DPW director, he will actually be prioritizing which roads. This is in addition to what has already been completed. So this is what this particular award is for.
This is an award or a grant?
Well, it's to extend what we've already received with the road works that have already been done.
Uh-huh.
And this will be an additional in this amount. And Director of Public Works will determine which roadways are prioritized.
Council President, if I may, I just want to chime in. So this is
Mr.
an
CFO.
extension of the prior award. So professional services expire after a year. So this is us renewing the contract with the engineer to provide these intelligent engineering services for the road pavements.
Because as I read this, and my understanding of this was that we're hiring somebody to tell us what roads are bad in the city. Well, we should know that, okay? So why are we hiring a professional engineer to say Center Street needs to be repaired, or Fairview Avenue needs to be repaired? We should know, our DPW folks, should know what roads need to be repaired.
There's an assessment based on need. It's a varying scale, so based off how critical it is to pave that road, then that determines what road goes into the grant application to be paved at the said time. And this is us using this technology, the intelligent pavement technology that Panoni is providing, to help us with the engineering aspect that goes with paving those roads.
Thank you. I have one more, and I'm good. 234. Talking about traffic directors, and I think this is a change order for $68,000, but I'm not sure by directors. What are directors?
Mr. CFO.
Flaggers, but more specifically, police officers that are directing traffic when we have the roads closed off to be paved.
Okay. So we already are in the hole, we already paid out 632,000, correct?
Actually, that's a-
It'll be 632,000 once you include this 68,000 here. With the 68,000, that resolution, we're gonna be at the total of 632,000.
Okay,
And it-
for directors. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Council President,
Councilwoman Easton?
Unbelievable.
2025, wasn't there a question on that about the affordable?
What's the number, Councilwoman?
2025, was that modified for the?
No, it was not.
So we're moving on it tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
Anything, anyone else? Councilman Coley?
Nothing at this time, no.
Okay. Councilman Montague? No. Okay, Madam Clerk, are you ready again? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to
Motion.
adjourn, Ross.
Motion
Second.
by Councilmember Ross, second.
Second, Wooten.
Wooten. Councilmember Jamie Summers arrived at 7:15. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting is adjourned. This is a regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Orange Township held in Council Chamber, City Hall, 29 North Day Street, Orange, New Jersey, on Tuesday, April 15th, 2025, following the conference meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Today, can we have Councilwoman Summers Johnson lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Councilmember Coley,
Present.
Councilmember Eason,
Here.
Councilmember Hilbert is absent, Councilmember Montague III,
Present.
Councilmember Ross,
Here.
Councilmember Summers Johnson,
Here.
Council President Wooten.
Here.
Also present is Joyce Lanier, the city clerk, Laquana Best, the deputy business administrator, Chief Brown, the fire chief, Now Clement, CFO, Gracia R. Montillis, these people are all present, Marlon G. Towns, and the police department, I forgot who they said. Oh, he's out. And Trish Scipio from the clerk's office. The requirements of NJSA 10:4-9 et sec, the Sunshine Law, has been met. A notice of this meeting was sent to the Star Ledger, published in the record transcript on July 11, posted on bulletin board in City Hall, the council's website, the city's website, and filed in the office of the city clerk. Minutes, meeting minutes approval. April 1st, 2025 conference meeting minutes. We can make a motion because the person who was absent is not present. Is there a motion to adopt?
Motion to adopt, Ross.
Second, Montague.
Motion by Councilmember Ross, second by Councilmember Montague III. On that motion? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? April 1st, 2025, regular meeting minutes. Is there a motion?
Motion to adopt, Ross.
Second?
Montague.
Motion by Councilmember Ross, second by Councilmember Montague III on the motion. Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley?
Yes.
Councilmember Eason?
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert is absent. Councilmember Montague III?
Present. Excuse me, yes.
Councilmember Ross?
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson?
Yes.
Council President Wooten?
Yes.
Monthly revenue collection reports.
Madam Clerk, before we do that, Director Wendy Sykes is here from Community
Okay.
Services. And Deputy Director Andrea Grant.
Okay. Okay. Department monthly revenue collection for the month of March. The clerk's office collected $50. Historic preservation didn't collect anything. Planning department collected $63,940. Community service collected $35,660. Oprah reports. In March, we received 80 requests. 76 were complete and 4 are remaining. Council reports?
They're on the file.
They're on file. There's no communications and petitions. Citizens' comments. Members of the public wishing to address the council may do so during this portion of the meeting. Speakers must sign their name on the comment sign-up sheet and approach the microphone when called upon. We allow a maximum of 5 minutes per person to interact with the council. You must provide your name and address prior to beginning any remarks. Visual aids are not permitted. Speakers are reminded to be courteous and mindful of other individuals. Each person has the right to speak on any subject but is responsible for abuse of that right. City bears no liability for any comments made by the public and maintains discretion to remove any person engaging in obscene or disruptive conduct. The council will consider all comments in question and will respond if and when appropriate, which may or may not be this evening.
Aisha Samuel.
Aisha Samuel, 401 Highland Terrace. What's going on with the parking authority? Last week we were told that you guys would be getting resumes and you would be doing interviews, so what's going on with that? The scattered sites. Have any of the owners of the properties that are on the list for scattered sites, have they been notified that they are on this particular list? And if it was done, how was it done? Was it through regular mail or certified mail? Was it posted in any of the newspapers anywhere? Any of that stuff. What's going on with the Scotland Road renewal? I haven't heard anything about that. There have been no public meetings. There have been nobody speaking about that. Again, no more pilots. I know tonight there is one for 22 years. That means 22 years instead of this company paying taxes, they're just going to give a small payment. We need the tax money because we're tired of having our taxes raised as homeowners. What's going on with the Highland Avenue train station? I know that the thing was up for bidding. Has anyone bid on it? So what's happening with that? Let's see. Oh, recreation. They need to get their stuff in order for the summer starting now, since they only have like about 2 months left. So let recreation know that the summer is coming. They need to have that stuff scheduled. And schedule where people can actually see it. Which well is Orange using for water, and when was it last tested by the EPA? And I already talked about garbage being put out at 7 p.m. the last time, so I'm just going to bring that up quickly for this time. The garbage at 7 p.m., that's too late for way too many people, so that needs to be changed. And what's going on with the ADUs and the short-term rentals ordinance? I haven't seen anything about that. I know that it was just taken off the table from the last meeting, so I want to know what's happening with that. Especially because we have all these new apartment buildings, and a lot of them are probably going to want to use Airbnb instead of having renters. Let's see. Oh, and cannabis. Haven't spoken about this in a while. When will cannabis come to Orange? When are you guys going to rescind the ordinance that you did back when y'all decided not to allow cannabis in Orange? When are y'all going to rescind that ordinance? And how can anyone hold 2 full-time jobs in this administration? and get paid for both of them. That doesn't make sense. So are you guys going to be looking for a new planning director? How is that going to work? Because nobody should have 2 full-time jobs in this administration. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Ms. Samuel. Councilwoman Summers Johnson, do you want to speak to cannabis?
I'll speak to cannabis again.
Thank you, ma'am.
So cannabis, we do want it to come back. I believe it's still in the law department. Again, Councilwoman Wooten and myself, we went door to door with petitions for it. We know that it is a source of revenue. We know that other towns are benefiting from it. We know that other towns very close to Orange, so close within walking distance. So it's definitely something that we want, and you can continue to ask because we're continuing to ask as well. We want it. We know that it is a source of revenue.
Thank you, ma'am. So the parking authority, I'll speak to that. We are still accepting resumes. We do not have enough resumes to even interview right now. So we're asking for anyone who is interested in the parking authority to become a commissioner. Excuse me, Officer Forrester, can you find out what's going on with that window? Thank you. Oh, okay.
She turned the arrow.
All right, Miss Scipio. So as again, the parking authority, we don't have resumes for it. We only have a few resumes that have been sent in to us, and we've asked and we've pled for people who are interested in becoming a part of the authority to send the resumes in to us. So that's what the business administrator explained last week. We need 7 commissioners for that. We have a limited amount of resumes, or we have resumes that we don't think are able to be on that commission. So as soon as we get the appropriate number of resumes and we think that those people are qualified pursuant to our personnel department, we will interview those folks and possibly put them on the parking authority.
The only reason why I have another question is because I was told that you guys have received 6 resumes and that you could actually start the parking authority with 5 of those resumes. So that's why I'm asking.
Oh no, ma'am, we need 7. And I don't remember the business administrator
He
saying.
said 5. He said that you could do
okay.
it with 5. That's
Well,
what he
according to
said.
the code, we need 7, unless we change the code.
But according to the code, according to him, it says that you need a minimum of 5, but you could do it with 7.
Ms. Samuel.
I get it.
Yeah, okay. I'm not
Okay.
gonna- All right, thank you, ma'am. Madam ABA, would you like to address some of those concerns?
As far as scattered sites, the study was done in 2023, and it was followed by the MLUL, where we have to send certified and regular mail to all parcels that are within a 200 feet radius. So that was done. All the owners in that area have been notified. They were notified back in 2023 when the actual investigation study was completed. In reference to, just for clarification, for pilots, you stated 22 years of not paying or paying low taxes. You'll actually generate $63,000 in additional revenue than you're already receiving for that area. So that unfortunately that's not a true statement. That it would be at a low rate, and it accelerates each year of the pilot. The Highland Avenue train station, the bidding will actually be on May 8th. I spoke with the Director of Public Works earlier, and that is actually going to be on May 8th for the interior to be done, and it's the grant is about $3 million, I want to say, that Director Mays stated to me. So we are moving on that. As far as recreation, all of the summer programs and activities are on the website, and they were also included in all of the council packets as well of what's coming forward for the summer. As far as the garbage at 7 p.m. being too late, the law department and the Public Works Department, they are working together to amend that time, so that should be coming forth soon. As far as the ADU and short-term rentals, that's another process that the entire city would need to be notified by certified mail, just like when you're doing something with redevelopment, when an investigation study is taking place, which would be extremely expensive. There are a lot of things that have to be discussed as far as who actually would be managing that, because that in itself is another full-time job to be able to manage what rentals and who's doing what. So that's why that's still under discussion. And again, the entire city would be notified, because the entire city would be overall affected, because it's something that the city would need to do as a whole.
Also zoning, talk about zoning has to be changed in the city.
Which is why we have to notify everyone.
Yeah, so just
Correct.
that same, zoning has to be changed, which is a long process.
Yes. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Alicia Rodriguez.
Good evening, Alicia
Good evening.
Rodriguez, 487 Mountain View. Ask my questions first, right?
If you like.
Okay. So, where in the process does the community get involved in the creating a CBA,
CBAC.
the Community Benefits Agreement?
Oh,
And
okay.
Okay, yeah, that. And then what is the current status of the hospital? When is the community be engaged in that particular CBA? Because that is an over $10 million project, so it is required that we are involved in that prior to you guys even putting anything on the agenda, which is what I read up on. On ordinance 237-2025, you guys are asking for $293,000 for prior bills for last year. But let's not forget, you asked for $600,000 back in November, and you wanted to spread that out over the course of 2 years. So now we have over $1 million of money that you're asking for appropriations yet again, and where are we getting these funds? How is the question not being asked, and no offense to these individuals, what the CFO, the BA, and the multiple financial advisors that we're paying are doing? We are almost halfway through the year, and there's no annual budget yet, halfway through the year. The mayor urged you guys to pass appropriations and said he would make sure we work towards finding out how to bring down our taxes. But every month, our taxes go up. The mayor is required by the Faulkner Law to attend all city hall meetings. I just discovered this. We were told in the past that it's not required. Ordinance 2025, you guys are asking for 91,000, well, not asking, but I think that one's a 22-year no taxes for the 26-unit apartment building. If you calculate that after all the work is done, let's say the value is $2 million, and that's a low number for a 26-unit building. At a 3.5% rate, that's $1.5 million in tax breaks over the course of 22 years. When we keep telling you we can't afford these tax exemptions, and you guys still give them these, and we even asked if you would consider even giving them a little bit of a lesser time. Meanwhile, while they get these tax breaks, we're gonna have to hire more police, more fire, and more teachers. How are we gonna pay this? Again, I already proved that we're already $1 million deficit from prior years, but we're gonna continue to give these tax breaks at the expense of us. The scattered sites. I know for a fact that there are 3 on my block that are on there that were renovated and sold prior to 2023. So I didn't even know that you said that assessment was done in 2023, which brings me to question why they're still on the list, even though we've been told multiple times in the last few months it was revised, and I'm just confused. For the charging stations, how much does each charging station cost? And is it required by law to add them? And if so, what is the minimum? Because I don't think we need to add any additional ones when we can hardly even find parking now. Yeah.
That's it? Mr. CFO, Madam ABA, would you like to answer any of her questions?
Council President, I can't hardly hear anyone. I
You
don't know.
can't?
Yeah, it's like you guys gotta speak into the microphone.
Yes, ma'am.
No, because the air or something is, I'm sorry? I mean, okay, just speak up. She can't turn it off.
Good evening.
We're gonna go through.
Would you like to go first, Laquan? Ladies first.
Regarding the hospital update, well, I'm sorry, the community engagement for the CBA, for the community benefits. Well, that's actually determined by the council, what actually will be done with they'll vote and decide what will be done with the funds. But I don't want to speak, for the council, but that's how that normally would work. But the point of it is that it would benefit the community as a whole, whatever that particular item or whatever it is that they
I know
decide
what
to
it
do
is.
with
That
those
was,
funds.
the question was, at what point is it going to become like, are we gonna start speaking about it? Where in the process are they in that?
Oh, yeah, they would have the council president, she would be able to respond to that. The hospital update, there were two community meetings already. So currently, where we are is just waiting for the developer to provide us their financials so that we can move forward to discuss financial agreements. So that's where we are in that stage. The scattered site revision, all the council people, they do have the property analysis from then, when it was initially done till now. And as far as those properties that have been renovated, rehabilitated, that's fine. It's just that the benefits of being within a redevelopment area allow you to have certain incentives such as tax benefits and things like that. So if you actually remove yourself from that list, then you won't be able to have those benefits. So if that's something that you or whomever that's within that property area, that those parcels want to be removed, then the council can choose to remove those parcels from that list. But just know that you doing that won't allow you to have those benefits of being within a redevelopment area. So that's basically what that.
Does that mean that those listings can be on there just because they want tax breaks?
No, they were on there initially because they met a criteria.
Okay.
That.
But
when the
shouldn't it
study
be
was done.
updated at that point, since we know that they're no longer in that criteria?
Well, yes, that's what I was stating, that we currently did a property analysis of those properties that are currently on that list, the 52 that were deemed for that list. And there are some that were rehabilitated, but because they were already in that list, you can choose to have it removed if that's your choosing.
And really quickly,
Madam Mr. CFO.
the budget's being introduced tonight. We're just about maybe almost a third of the way through the year. You said half, and about the 293,000 and that emergency resolution, that is for a prior year bill. I'm not sure where you got the million from, but that'll be included in the calendar year 2025 budget.
The 600,000 from November. I just added saying that, just appropriations that we've done in less than 6 months, so over $1 million in additional expenses. That's all I was pointing out, but thank you guys.
James Ward.
Good evening. James Ward, 743 Haxton Avenue. Good evening, Council President, members of the council, and fellow residents. My name is James Ward. I currently serve as the chair of our Zoning Board of Adjustments, if you didn't know that.
Excuse me, Mr. Ward, would you please state your address, sir?
I did.
You did?
You did. I rise tonight to express deep concern about the proposed scattered sites redevelopment plan. Let's be absolutely clear that this plan was never reviewed, discussed, or vetted by the zoning board, neither by its current board or, to my knowledge, by any board in the past. That itself is a red flag. The plan, as written, proposed to designate dozens of non-contiguous parcels across the city that are well-maintained, owner-occupied, and even recently renovated homes as areas in need of redevelopment. This is a clear misapplication of the local redevelopment housing law. The statute is designed as concentrated areas in blight that threaten public welfare. That's how it's defined. Not to cast a wide net over stable homes across scattered individual sites across Orange. Doing so not only violates the spirit and the letter of the law, but it undermines public trust and it sends the wrong message to the very residents who have worked hard to improve this neighborhood. From a planning perspective, the strategy also fails on its merits. Scattered site development lacks cohesion. Development is most effective when applied to areas that have shared infrastructure, challenges, zoning constraints, and economic distresses. But what we see here is a patchwork of unrelated lots, sprinkled across an otherwise healthy block. This is not targeted revitalization, it's disjointed speculation. To help visualize this issue, I've prepared a printed map. I know that you all are not taking visual aids, but there is a map, and I've never seen the map. I have one for each of you if you would like. This map is also interactive. I have a QR code attached. Members of the public can view this map and see it in greater detail. I also have an example of a specific block chosen at random that shows what I'm talking about. To better visualize this, we need to be using tools like this so that we can see the underutilized lots. We can use tools that can implement zoning reform and possibly land banking, tax lien enforcement. None of these tools require destabilizing thriving homes and open the door to the threat of eminent domain. We all want progress, but true progress honors the residents who've already invested in this city. Not targets them, but we should be uplifting them, okay? Not labeling their homes as redevelopment zones. There are people on this list that have been notified, are friends of mine, and they have not been notified of this. These are homes that are recently renovated. These are homes that have recently been sold. The one that I chose at random, and I know it's hard to believe, it was recently sold. It's a new home. I urge the council to pause and reconsider this approach. As I've said on many times before, this zombie legislation has been showing up for like the last 3 years, and the list has only grown. It hasn't lessened. I urge the council to invite the zoning board into this conversation so that we can bring the public to the table and ensure that there's a responsible development plan so that we pursue the intents of the law and the values of this community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ward.
Would you like this example?
Sure.
I would. One for each of you.
Thank you.
Additionally, if you want to pass this around, this is a random example. I did this an hour before I got here. If you flip through, you can see that there's a single street that was chosen. I forget the street. And I just zoomed in. And when you zoom in, you can see that the block is contiguous, it's nice, it's well maintained, and the house that I chose randomly on the list was for sale in the picture.
Did you list, or did you tell us what that state statute was you were referring to? Can you
It's
give
the
us the statute number?
that creates scattered sites,
Do
okay?
you know what that statute number is you're referring
It's
to?
the statute that's on the list here, NJSA 40.
So it's the one that we
A.
already have?
Yes.
Got it. Thank you,
It's the one
sir.
that's referenced on your bill.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Gerald Murphy? Thank you.
Good evening, Gerald Murphy, 25 South Harrison Street, Orange, New Jersey. So I have a few things to talk about. Last time I was here, I talked about the people that are coming here to do the construction work that are not Orange residents. It's something on the books here where that we have affirmative action, which the councilwoman didn't know, and we can utilize that instead of them busing in all the Spanish people. Let's get some people that live here an opportunity to work. That's number one. Number two is that I see a lot of police and fire here. I wonder why. Big topic. I've been saying that the problem is too many take-home cars. Too much gas being used on taxpayers' dollars. I've been saying this for a long time, but people are not paying attention. Now everything is coming to the rooster. The next thing I'm gonna talk about is what the gentleman, Mr. Ward, said about abandoned properties. You have where that in other cities, within an 18-month period, if they don't develop the properties, the city has the right to take it back. If it was city-owned properties, they have a right to fine them. There's a lot of things that can happen, but we not doing it. We just letting people come do what they want, how it is. Everybody look at me, but I try to do the right thing. But I got pushed to the rug. You know, the young lady talked about the Orange Memorial Hospital. I pictured that 3 years ago for 750 units. Open up Day Street to Central Avenue. Had $11 million sitting. They said I was crazy. But then they let this guy come in to pitch 1,005 units with no money. How'd that work? You know, he went to the state to try to get 75 million without even a proven track record. If you guys was giving the money from the state, would you give it to somebody like that? You know, it's enough, man. We got to stand up, and we got to do the right thing. Because if not, we ain't going to have nobody in the city. We ain't going to have no police. We ain't going to have no fire, and we ain't going to have no residents. I mean, everybody's like, yeah, but what's going on? Nobody answers my questions. The mayor told me to contact the guy. For 3 months, I've been waiting for the guy. He don't got an address. He don't got a business phone number. Only thing he got is an email, and he don't get back to you. But he need money, and he trying to come to y'all. He can't come to y'all because he ain't got no money. And he's talking about doing 7 buildings in 7 years, so that's 1 building a year. That don't make sense. That don't make sense. If nobody don't got the money to do it, he needs to step aside and let somebody who got the money to do it. You know, it ain't all this rubbing elbows and this and that. He got to do the right thing. All y'all got to do the right thing. Y'all all getting paid from the city, from taxpayers. All y'all got to do the right thing. If not, it's time to go. And you all know who I am. I ain't no joke. Like I told y'all, from the State House to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. And I will be putting the next governor in, Jack Cillarilli, GOP.
He wishes.
I think this is P. Ruth, maybe? Yes, Red, okay.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. I got to follow up behind him. He just did his thing. So, Pleasant Sweat, owner of 157 Ward Street.
I was trying to wait.
You want to?
Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Hello.
So I wasn't expecting to speak, but I'm here, so here I am. So 2 things I just want to talk about. This is more so for Mr. DiFilippo. I don't see him in the building, but the rodent issue. There's a rodent issue around where my house is, outside, a rat issue. There's a lot of construction going on, so with that being said, breeds rodents, of course. I'm doing all that I could do to protect my property, but my hands are tied at this point. There's pretty much nothing else I could do. So I know I was in contact with Mr. DiFilippo a few months ago regarding the rodent issue, so just want to address it. And it's just, I don't live in the house anymore. My tenants are complaining about it. It is nothing I could do though. So I'm coming to the city like, what can we do? Like, can we work together? What can we do? I'm putting in the preventative measures around my house to do what I gotta do, but it's bigger than just my house. You know what I'm saying? When I call pest control told me like, oh, like your house is just caught in the crossfire from everything. Like there's construction going to the left of you, construction going on to the right of you, so you just caught in the crossfire. So I'm just doing what I could do to protect my little property. And the second thing is, I know this is a hot topic, but the property taxes, like, I'm not gonna hold you. Orange is only like, what, 2 miles long, and our property taxes are wild. Like, my little house, I pay an enormous amount, because it was renovated, but it's just wild. Like, I mean, we need some type of tax break. We need something. I know, like, from the few years that I've been in Orange, that I've owned my home in Orange, excuse me, I've seen the development, which I love. I love that for Orange, but Orange is becoming unaffordable. Like, when you really think about things like, as a young single black woman, I bought my home on my own, and I can't do that right now. Like, if I wanted to purchase another home right now, I can't do that. It's unaffordable, and even in Orange, it's unaffordable. So it's just sad to see. Like I said, I love this development. I love where Orange is going, but like, y'all really pushing everybody out. Like, y'all really pushing everybody out. I get it. Like, I get gentrification. Like, I'm from Brooklyn, so I seen gentrification happen like firsthand. Which is a good thing and a bad thing. Like I said, I'm not opposed to it, but it's still like, it's hurting like the middle class. Like, it's really hurting the middle class because it's pushing everybody out that can't afford to. Like, again, at one point, Orange was affordable, but right now, I'm not gonna hold you with the property taxes. I'm ready to sell and get up out of here because it's just, property taxes is wild. Like, it is, I can only say so much. I know y'all know, like, it's a big issue. It's a big topic. So that's it. That's all I want to say. Just a little road issue and property taxes. And where's the mayor? Where is that? Where is he? So why is he not here?
Excuse me, I missed it. What street do you live on?
It's Ward
Street.
Ward Street.
157 Ward Street. All right, y'all. That's all I got. Have a good night.
Thank you. And Councilman Ross, it's a restaurant. That's a restaurant, Miss Red, right?
Oh, let's talk about that.
It's a restaurant.
Let's talk about that. So wait, I'm adjacent to the back of two restaurants.
Two restaurants.
I don't know, wherever the police department is across the street, come down the block. There's two restaurants. There's a Haitian restaurant and like a corner store that sell Jamaican food from the back. And they, when I first bought my crib, they would throw their trash out on the floor. It was horrible. So that was a really big rodent issue. And then I came to the city about it. I went to Marty Mays about it, and they cleaned that up. But it's still a restaurant. So my house is adjacent to where they throw their trash out, and it's just breeding grounds for rodents. They don't care because I'm sure they don't live in Orange. And if they do live in Orange, they don't live right there. So they don't care. It's not affecting them. It's not affecting them physically. And people still gonna come to the restaurant, eat at the restaurant, although there's rats all outside. So yes, my house is adjacent to the two restaurants where they throw their trash out. Yeah. Hello. It like at this point it's not even worth it. It's frustrating. It really is. All right, y'all.
Thank you, Miss Red. So we can send the task force over there to those restaurants, right? Okay. Anything else you want to say, Tom? Okay. Mr. Brent Engel.
Sir. Good evening. Quiet. Good evening. Brent Engel, 174 Haywood Avenue. Council President, members of the council, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm here to talk about the scattered sites resolution. Basically, there's been an iteration of this resolution coming before this council starting back in 2022. Back then, there was 112 parcels on it. That was at the August 3rd meeting, resolution 333. I guess that was shot down because then it came back on September 20th as resolution 372-2022, and it ballooned up to 142 parcels. Then, guess that got shot down, because then in 2023, June 20th meeting, resolution 255, some of those parcels were eliminated, but not all, because it came in at 138. I'm assuming that was shot down because now it's the current iteration of that resolution, which goes back to August 7th, resolution 32-2024. There were 39 parcels. There was one on South Center Street, which I'm kind of concerned about because, you know, that's kind of in my neck of the woods, and that's large single-family homes. Okay, so I'm kind of very concerned about the developer coming in there, getting some sort of special treatment, some sort of sweetheart deal, and builds, you know, multi-family units which are not allowed. You know, of course, that would have to go in front of the zoning board and the planning board, but, you know, we'll see how that works out. Some things just don't go the way they should. You know, in January of last year, same resolution, 32-2024, 139 parcels. However, only 6 of the original 52 actually satisfied the requisite criteria to meet, you know. And then now it's back, and I'm hearing different numbers tossed around. And it's not making any sense. You know, for a long time, I worked in an architectural firm as a senior designer. I spent 3 months in Philadelphia because the Philadelphia Housing Authority sued HUD because they said that their handicap units met ADA requirements. They didn't. There was a heck of a database developed from all of this work that we were down there for, okay? During this time, Philadelphia Housing Authority was getting rid of all of the large tenant buildings because they found that they didn't work. Unfortunately, I'm seeing a lot of that being built up now again. And that concerns me because one of the biggest problems that they were saying is that the kids, if you lived on the first floor, you could see your kids out playing. If you lived up higher up on the floors, you couldn't. That's a problem. So I'm really unhappy with the way a lot of the development's going, how these scattered sites are going to get developed by people. So I'd really like it if someone could really take a good, hard look at this again. And as Mr. Ward said, I agree with what he says, okay? I worked in the same field as him for a long time. Not with him, but, you know. And it just, there's things that just need to be done in certain ways so that people can come in and speak about what they, you know, think about with these sites. Even after you guys approve, you know, that they can build, you know, that they can develop these sites, somebody still needs to say, you can't put that there because of X, Y, Z, you know? You can't go around building something taller, you know, without having proper fire codes higher than what the fire department can reach. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Engel. Mrs. Carolyn McMillan.
Hi, I'm Carolyn McMillan. I live at 174 Hayward Avenue. My questions are general, right? One of the questions I have is the gate that's at 7 Oaks, at the entrance, at both entrances of 7 Oaks. How did that come about? Well, I understand why it would be necessary, but how did that come about? What was the time frame of this? And when did it start? When did the process start for this? Okay. The reason I ask that is because I've never seen it, never heard of it. One day I'm passing, where did the gates come from? All right? The park, the soccer games, they're parking all over the place, right? But how does that get priority over speed bumps for Hayward Avenue, over signage for Haywood Avenue, right? Summertime is coming, and people know or have an idea of what goes on Haywood Avenue. I'd like to know how some things get priority, and the ones who pay the taxes, the higher taxes, don't get any priority, right? It's like we don't exist, right? You come at us with laws, but you don't enforce the laws with everybody else. You can't have this, you can't do this, right? But I'm seeing other things where it's happening on other streets, right? Which I don't think is fair, right? I've been here since 1969, right? Bought the house for my parents, sold it to my niece and her husband, right? But the town has went down. There is no community camaraderie, right? One of your council people said at one time that they don't work for us. I don't know why they come around that look for votes, but they don't work for us, right? So if they don't work for us, who are they working for, right? We put you in office, we can take you out of office, right? The so-called things that are going on with the council people, where we have these petitions, you never hit my street at all. Haywood Avenue just doesn't exist. Around the corner exists, maybe South Center exists, we don't exist, right? So that's the gate thing. The other thing is, it's good to see that you do know how to build condos. 18 Hickory Street, you're building condos. So what is the difference between the apartments that are coming up and the condo that's supposed to be coming up? How is one apartments and one is condos, right? Because the HOA fee will help toward our taxes. These abatements that you're giving, 22-year, 15-year, whatever, right? What I see is at the end of that, they're gonna turn those apartments into condos because it's gonna start costing them money, right? So when you look at how much rent they're charging, right, 2,000, 2,100, right? How many units are there? Why would you give them an abatement? That doesn't make any sense. So if you have 2,100 that you're charging, that's the lowest one I've seen, times how many units there, right? Look at the annual that this developer is making, and you're giving him more money by not charging them the taxes. I don't think that's fair to us, right? I have neighbors who are leaving because of the environment and other things that are going on. What are you doing for us? When you talk about 1776 taxation without representation, that's what we're feeling right now. You're not representing us. You may be representing yourself, but not us. That's it.
Thank you, Ms. McMillan. Council President. Councilwoman Summers Johnson.
You want me to speak to the gates and the speed bumps on Haywood?
Maybe the speed bumps?
Not the gate. The speed bumps for Haywood are, they're coming when they repave Haywood, which is coming very soon. We did go door to door to tell all the residents on Haywood that the speed bumps would be coming. And also, you didn't ask, but I know you're concerned about Argyle and Scotland. The mirror was ordered, I believe last week, so as soon as the mirror comes in, they're gonna put it up. That's one deterrent, and they're also going to repaint in front of the store on Argyle and Scotland yellow, and give more tickets, and also paint the bus stop on Argyle and Scotland, because every morning there's cars in front of the store and cars on the, in the bus stop, which, you know, you can't make a left or a right because you can't see. Okay?
That's it. Madam Clerk.
A motion to close citizen comments?
Motion to close citizens' comments, Summers Johnson.
Is there a second?
Second.
Easton.
Motion to close citizen comments by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilwoman Easton. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Council comments?
Councilman Ross?
Thank you, Council President.
You're welcome.
I just want to start off by saying that, because I hear at every meeting almost that Orange is such a terrible town. That's far from the truth. Okay, every
Excuse me
meeting.
for a moment. Officer Forrester, can you, people are talking and Councilwoman Summers Johnson said she could barely hear. So can we just, okay.
You know, again, I think this is a great town, okay? I mean, there's no town that's perfect. I don't care where you live, no town is perfect, okay? And instead of, criticizing and saying how bad Orange is, come up with some recommendations, come to us and say, well, this is what I think. And, we all need to work together instead of knocking each other down, saying that this is such a terrible town. Because we have the same issues that any other town has. All other towns have issues with taxes, okay, with rodents, with everything you guys are saying. Every other town has it, okay? You show me a town that taxes are increased every year. All right? So, listen, it's just that, let's work together to make Orange a better place for all of us to live, to play, and grow. And I just want to say, today is April 15th, everyone. Tax filing deadline. But I think everybody probably filed their taxes and got their refunds already, Again, I want to mention the summer program for the youth. Okay, time is running out on that real quick. The application deadline is May 1st. It's a 6-week program. The start date is 6/23/25. It's a 33-hour work week, and the wages is $15.49 per hour. The jobs include summer food service workers, pool aide, park aide, lifeguards. Applications are available at City Hall. You can call Wendy's April Cruz at 973-952-6090. Again, April Cruz at City Hall, 973-952-6090. Jobs are going fast, so if you have any students, your kids, anybody that needs a job, please get that application as soon as possible. I am very excited and I'm pleased that the FYI 2025 budget is being introduced tonight as promised. Thank you, administration. And I am looking forward to working closely with my council colleagues, the Citizen Advisory Committee, and administration to review it thoroughly and adopt a balanced budget in a timely manner that will be amicable to all. So let's all work together to make that happen. And I just want to say Happy Easter to everyone. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Councilman Montague?
Good evening, everyone. Most definitely, I feel the pain of everybody, including myself. Taxes are out of control. Well, I've been here all my life and I actually pay taxes. So, thank you. I feel everybody's pain. I think everybody on this council, everybody pays taxes here. Taxes are, we're gonna do everything in our power to minimize the damage this year. I know we took a hard hit last year, very hard, but I'm committed to make this an answerable budget for this year. Okay, I feel everybody's pain. I feel bad for the citizens of Orange, and we're going to work together. Also, I just want to put it out here, tomorrow at the Hub, I'm doing the job readiness and placement program for Orange High School students. If you have any high school students in Orange, you can send them to the Hub tomorrow at 5:30. 35 Cleveland Street, Orange, New Jersey. I will be conducting a job readiness training along with job placement. Also, Saturday on the 19th, we're gonna have our annual Light Up the Park, Spring Cherry Blossom September. That's gonna be Saturday on the 19th at 3 p.m. Central Playground. They're gonna have music, refreshment, games, and more. On Thursday, Upper Fieldhouse, I do a job readiness program with job placement at the Upper Fieldhouse, which is 234 Lincoln Avenue, Orange, New Jersey. So any adults, I take anybody that's in need of jobs. I have a lot of professional jobs, all types of jobs. And we go over job readiness skills, things of that nature. And the last thing I'm going to talk about, we haven't brought this up yet, but Councilman Ross and myself and our nonprofit called People Over Politics, we're giving out 5 scholarships to Orange High School this year. We're giving out 5 scholarships. So if you have children that go to the Orange school system, the applications are with the counselors, and we're giving out 2 vocational and 3 college scholarships, so a total of 5. So, thank you. I'm going to defer to my council colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Easton?
I want to make a couple announcements. On Saturday, the 19th, at M&T Bank, there's going to be a community Easter egg hunt, sponsored by M&T Bank. They now have a new manager, and she's getting involved in the community. So if you got any money, you might want to try M&T Bank. And it's from 1 to 4, an Easter egg hunt. Also, Light Up Orange is also on Saturday at Central Playground. That's been done by every year by one of Sister Genora Spates. So we got a lot of activities this weekend that the kids can participate in, because next week is spring break for Orange students. So they'll all be out. Good Friday, they're all off, so they'll all be out. But I just want to say to the residents, and we're all concerned about taxes, and we do listen, we hear you, and we try and stabilize them as much as possible. And some people is going to be upset, as you see our police and firemen here tonight, because they are concerned. Because they have done a lot for this city, they have gotten jobs, they work hard, and they are concerned about what's happening with the budget process. So when you see their sad faces, that's because they are concerned. So I want us to keep in mind that, yes, we can stabilize taxes, but we also have to have money to run this city. And you want services, you want police, you want fire. When you call them and they don't come, then we get a complaint. And you want them to be there. And please understand that. And Mr. Murphy, part of your house is in East Orange. So I hope you're doing the same thing in East Orange that you're doing here. So, okay. But anyway, so let's all work together. Let's keep our let's keep our hope high. And I say prayer works. So we're gonna all pray that there's a miracle in this city and things will get better. We all know that development is helping us. It is helping us to stabilize taxes. If we didn't do development, your taxes would be skyrocketing even more. And I'm glad the lady asked the question about the gates. We asked those same questions. Where did that money come from? Because in the North Ward, in order for me to get anything, I almost had to sell my firstborn. So I wanted to be equitable throughout the city and make sure that the resources are for all wards and not just the South. I've been in this city since '73, and I think I've got 2 speed bumps in the North Ward. But that's how many the South Ward has. So we need to make sure they're all over and everybody's getting their fair share. So the next speed bumps will go in the North Ward. You gotta
So
put them there yourself.
exactly. So otherwise, I'll be sitting on my maid's doorstep, making sure that we get the speed bumps. So
we just trying to make sure those resources are utilized throughout the city and not just for certain parts of the city. Because you know, I'm always fighting for the North Ward. But I also want to make sure that we take care of the people that has dedicated their service to Orange. They love Orange, they want to be here. So we're gonna look for ways. Yes, we are going to try and stabilize taxes, but we're also gonna look for ways so we can get some funding. And I'm not a fan of cannabis, so I'm one person that's always gonna be a no, because one of the reasons is I was told very early by a lieutenant governor before she passed away, God rest her soul, there is no money in cannabis. And I want one person to come up here that has a business and tell us how much money they have given to the bottom line of any city. We could all speculate, but nobody has even showed any true numbers. And if you call those cities, they're not even tracking it that way. So I just want all to know that we are listening, we're working hard, and we will continue to work hard for this city. So don't lose faith and don't lose hope, because Orange is on the move, and we will support y'all. And I'm a taxpayer, been one since I moved in '73. Always pay my taxes, and you don't hear me complaining, but I always pay my taxes. So we're gonna work hard together, but we are going to unify and stay on a positive plane and not bring the negativity into the city of Orange. As we know, we have somebody in the White House, and since he's been there, the planes have been falling out the air, people are dying, and that's because by negativity. So that's what happens. So we're gonna stay positive and continue to support each other and support Orange. And you may not like everything we do, but we do our due diligence, and we do our work, we do get the facts, we investigate, we look at things, and we make sure that we try and make the right decisions for the city of Orange. You're not gonna agree with all of them, but we do try to make the right decisions and make sure everybody's taken care of. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilwoman Eason. Councilwoman Summers Johnson.
Thank you, Council President. So I just want to be clear. I voted no on the budget last year. You may not have seen that on Orange Real Talk or in the chat. But I voted no because when taxes go up, my taxes go up. So I don't know. We get grouped together a lot. I say this every council meeting. I would rather you call my name out and say what I said than to speculate or group everyone together. I definitely represent the city of Orange. I've been here since 1979. I was educated in Orange. I'm educating my kids in Orange. I support the youth, where I don't see a lot of people. I see you at council meetings, but I don't see you supporting the youth. That's where I am. A lot of times people say they don't see me. Then I ask them, do you shop on Main Street? No. Do you eat in Orange? No. Do you get your car washed in Orange? No. Well, then you're not going to see me. Because I spend money in my city. That's how stores and businesses stay in the city, by us spending our money in the city. As far as the South Ward, no, Councilwoman Easton and I, we go back and forth all the time. She's going to fight for the North. I'm going to fight for the South. And in fighting right now, I'm so excited. I woke up to the loud noise of streets being done. Haxton Avenue. I was on Tompkins today. I had to see it for myself because they had cobblestone. Mosswood Avenue, Tremont Avenue, and Austin Place. So that's, 5 streets in the South Ward right now. There was a fence damaged at Metcalf. It was ordered. You might not read about that on Orange Real Talk. It was ordered. The tennis courts at Metcalf are next. I believe May 5th, I want to say they're going to be doing some mobilization to, am I right? Something about that, right? To get that together. That's another thing that I've been fighting for. I am in favor of cannabis. I'm in favor of a parking authority. I'm always calling the BA, annoying him about trying to find revenue. I feel like there's money on the table. I'll vote no for the budget this year if it's not to my liking. I do believe we need to make cuts. As a firefighter's wife, I wouldn't want to cut fire or police, because I definitely want them to be able to have the equipment and everything they need to save my life and save the residents' lives. Same thing with police. I was laughing when he said I didn't know what affirmative action. I'm a history teacher, so yeah, I know what affirmative action is. So I don't know where that came from, but okay. That's what you said. That's what you, it's my time now, Mr. Murphy. Okay, so I knew affirmative action was on the books. What I said was, with them
Okay.
taking DEI.
Is her turn to speak right now,
Yeah, it
please?
definitely is. We're not going back and forth. It's okay, it's okay. Trust me, he's fine. He's fine. He's fine. Now, because I know what affirmative action is. What I'm saying was, when we had a conversation, I realized everything I say, I gotta make sure I say it correctly. I said DEI was being taken away. I said they didn't take that too, is what I said. But again, I realize I gotta act like I'm being recorded when I speak. Like I wanna work with the community, which I do, and I understand the frustration. We can take that, it's fine, but every meeting to say we don't represent you, I don't understand what that means. I really don't understand what that means. There's meetings that we have, there's conversations we have where we don't wait until a council meeting. You know me my whole life, Mr. Murphy, my whole life. Like, please don't put it on for these people. You've known me my entire life, please. Don't let titles, don't do that. Anyway, my question to the BA, as Councilwoman Easton said, the schools will be closed next week. And in the past, we've had some parks open as a safe, the bathrooms and things. Do we know if Central or one of the other parks will be open next week during the day?
Central Park will be open.
Central, okay, good. And can we get that message over to the schools so that the parents know?
I'll tell the superintendent.
Thank you so much. And like I said, I've been here since 1979. As much as people say Orange is going down, they said the same thing about Main Street. Main Street is doing so well. It doesn't look the way we would want it to look, no way. But it is doing really well. It's just we have to get it to where it looks pleasing. But it is a place where a lot of the people in the community do shop, and no, it is not where it needs to be. But we have to work together. Even in our disagreeing and agreeing, we still have to work together. And there's a lot of, how can I say it? There's a lot of agendas that are going on, and I just want to keep it back to the people. It has to be for the people, and that's who I'm for. So I hear a lot of murmuring when people are talking. It's just, you have to have respect. We can't get anywhere without respect. We can disagree, we can agree, but there has to be a mutual respect. I'm a woman, you're a man, you're a woman. You can come up here and complain. The young lady from Brooklyn, she's been up here. You know, I know that the health department is going to be working with you. We understand your pain, but it wasn't nasty. You know what I mean? It's just a way that we have to speak to people. I just don't know where you think you can do that. I don't see people do that in other towns. You know, they just don't do that. And I don't want people to feel like because this is Orange, you feel comfortable just to talk to people. You know, it's just not fair to anyone. You would not want anyone to speak to you. No one speaks to you like that on your job. So I just always ask for a mutual respect. You talk, I'm quiet. I talk, you're quiet. So I can hear. The BA is writing stuff down. We're writing stuff down. You may not always get your answer today, but I know Councilwoman Wooten and the rest of the council, we've always said, keep us in the loop with the answers so that if you don't get the answers, that we can fight for you. The phone works both ways. The phone works both ways. Email works both ways. We have to connect. These clicks that we have where information is given out and it's given out, and a lot of times it's not true. And we're trying to give you the truth, but sometimes the truth is not what you want to hear. So, Council President, thank you so much. I know I went over time and I'm not supposed to. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilwoman Summers Johnson. Councilman Coley.
Yeah, I'll be real brief. I just want to say, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I just want to say thank you, Council President, for allowing me to use the Zoom platform to participate in this meeting tonight. As you know, but I had my second total knee replacement just a week ago, and it is this go around. It's a little different, you know, than my total knee replacement that I had in January.
But that's besides the point. I'm here, trying my best to always do what needs to be done. And I just want to say that my council colleagues, I appreciate and I agree with everything that all you guys are saying tonight. You guys are speaking with truth to power and passion. And to let you know that I agree with everything that you guys are saying tonight. And the budget is going to be introduced, and that's going to give us an opportunity to work through the budget, so we can continue to move the city in the right direction. And Council President, I think that's all I have, and I'll leave it right there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman Coley. I will be extremely short regarding taxes. If you live anywhere in the county of Essex County, taxes are extremely high. And they're extremely high in the city of Orange Township too. And my taxes went up last year too. And they went up a lot last year too. So if you sit there and think that we're happy about what goes on with the taxes, you're absolutely wrong. Because we're humans too. And we work too. But those taxes went up. And we weren't happy about those taxes going up at all for you and for us. It's sad when I look out into the audience when we're speaking sometimes, and people, as Councilwoman Summers Johnson said, you're talking and we're perfectly quiet when you come up to the mic, perfectly quiet, but I'm not going to go over everything that she said. So I made my statement about the taxes. I do want to let you know that on May the 1st, 2025, not the United States, but mental health starts Mental Health Month in the state, and the State House will be lighting up green in conjunction with the National Mental Health Association. I sent a reply from the City of Orange Township. We will be doing the same thing at City Hall. So if you would like to come out and support, we will be purchasing green Christmas lights, I think, Mr. B.A., if we can find them. And we will be lighting up our public buildings in green for Mental Health Month. And go ahead, Councilwoman Easton.
That costs us money. Taxes go up.
I got it. I think I have some green in my house. I think I have some green in my house. And y'all can check the bill list and see that I purchased them. And that's funny because sometimes you have to laugh. Like, we're in this all together. I know you don't think that we feel your pain. We do. We absolutely do. Every month when that mortgage payment comes to my house, 66 Hampton Terrace, I feel your pain. And when I look outside and someone has thrown garbage in the street and I'm sweeping up garbage that a couple of neighbors have thrown, I feel your pain. I live in the East Ward, and as Councilwoman Easton says, we don't get that much in the East Ward as they get in the South Ward. We would like to have a fence in the East Ward. I have 2 brick pillars at the end of my block. No one came and said, hey, Adrian, can we put up a fence here? No one came and said that. As Councilwoman Easton said, I got the last word, Councilwoman Summers Johnson. As Councilwoman Easton said, like, we wondered about the fence, right, being put up. We asked about the fence being put up. Hopefully there's going to be a statement about the fence. When it comes to Main Street, we had a meeting right here in this council chambers with a group of people regarding Main Street. A couple of council people and I, some people from Main Street, the police were here, the parking authority were here, of course the administration was here, business administrator, Madam ABA was here. We talked about Main Street because 2 years ago, Councilwoman Easton and I put up legislation for the iron gates to come down. They were supposed to come down in 2023. We talked to some people from Orange, from Main Street to see when those gates are gonna come down. We put up legislation so that the people who ride the quads can't get gas in the city of Orange Township. So those are little things, but they're big things. So I wish sometimes that you would check out our records and check out what we actually propose and what we actually vote on to see that, like, we're doing our thing. We've done legislation with people out in the community. So if there's a piece of legislation or something that you want to see, call us. We've absolutely done that. I pulled legislation because people weren't quite, good with some of the wording. I pulled it. I'm gonna have a conversation with that gentleman, right? And we're gonna put something together for the town. So we're here for you. We absolutely are. We don't like everything that we hear. We absolutely don't. We're human, and we absolutely understand what you're going through. We absolutely do. I have a college granddaughter who is texting me every week when she goes out to a steakhouse and has no money, and she's ordered steak. So now I'm looking at my mortgage, and then I got to send a college kid money. She hits her mother up. She hits me up. She hits my husband up. She might even call Councilwoman Summers Johnson. I don't know, but she hits all of us up. So I just said that to say that we are human. We do feel your pain, and we love y'all. And I think Orange is the greatest city in the world. That's my personal opinion. I don't like everything. I don't. But I think it's the greatest city in the world, and I think that all of us try. Even when we don't like things, we're able to discuss things. We're not killing each other in Orange. We have a police department that's keeping us safe. We have a fire department that's running into fire. I never understood that concept, but they run into fires to put fires out. So we have stuff here in Orange. Sometimes we need you to help us. Those questions that you send to the administration, I'm always asking you, did you email those questions to the business administrator? Did you copy one of us on that email? So if the business administrator doesn't answer those emails, guess what? We in his ear. But that's your way of getting things heard and getting things answered. So I've said a lot tonight. I do want to remind you to go green on May the 1st. I'm going to buy those Christmas lights. And also we have the city Easter egg hunt, which is going to be, wait for it.
Thursday?
I can't find the daggone.
Isn't it Thursday?
I think it's the 17th.
Thursday.
Thursday?
Yeah, it's Thursday.
Thursday the 17th. Are there prizes?
From 4 to 6, right?
From 4 to 6. Are there like $100 in eggs and stuff like that? Thank y'all so much, Madam Clerk. Move the agenda.
Ordinance on second reading, public hearing. 32-2024, an ordinance of the Municipal Council of the City of Orange Township, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, to approve and adopt the Scatter Sites Redevelopment Plan, implementing specific development regulations and bulk zoning standards applicable to the scattered sites redevelopment area, all in accordance with the local redevelopment and housing law, NJSA 40A:12A-1 exit. The recommendation is for this to remain postponed. Can I get a motion?
No, we're gonna vote.
Motion?
We're gonna vote on this. Yes.
Second, Montague.
No, we're not.
We're gonna take it back. We're gonna vote on this.
Okay.
Can I get a
We're
motion?
moving it tonight.
We got to make a motion. We vote on it.
To rescind it. You gotta rescind
Oh.
it first and second.
No.
You want me to read it?
Citizen comments?
Oh, citizens, oh, still.
Are there any citizens who wish to speak on this?
Ms. Samuels?
Scattered sites.
Since you guys are gonna vote on this tonight, I would want you to vote no. That's it.
Thank you.
Any other citizens? Motion to close citizen comments?
Motion to close citizens' comments, Summers Johnson.
Second?
Montague.
Motion by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilmember Montague III. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Is there a motion?
Move Wooten.
Second, Eason.
Motion by Councilwoman Wooten, second by Councilwoman Eason on the motion.
This is from me to the business administrator or the ABA. Within the scattered sites, has anyone contacted you to say that they want it to be removed from this list?
There are two.
And did we remove them?
No, you would have to remove them this evening.
Okay. So we need to amend?
Yes. It's just one to be removed,
Okay.
and the amendment would be to remove 601 Lot 10.
Could you repeat that?
The amendment would be to remove 601 Lot 10, which is 351 Alden Street.
Is there a motion to amend 32-2024, removing block 601, lot 10?
Move Wooten.
Second, Montague.
Council President,
Councilwoman Easton.
we already had a motion on the table. Are we rescinding that first motion? Did we do a motion to adopt it or no?
No.
No, we
didn't?
was on the motion.
It was on
Now
the
they want to
motion.
amend it. So I'm sorry, that was motion by Wooten, second by, on the motion?
Council President.
Councilman Ross.
I'm a little confused. I don't know what we're doing here.
So
I
we're,
heard you talk to the BA about, you know,
so what I did, Councilman Ross, was, as Madam ABA explained, that if people didn't want to remain on the scattered sites
Right.
list, they could contact the city and say, take me off. So once they do that, all of the positive things that they could possibly get for being on that redevelopment plan, they won't get them. So I asked the BA and Madam ABA if there were anyone who wanted to be removed. And there was one person that wanted to be removed. So what we're doing now is amending the document to remove that person.
okay. Only one person called to say that they wanted. Okay.
Only one person. Did you hear which one it was?
Yeah.
You got it?
Alden Street.
Yes.
351.
Yes. Yes.
Thank
Anyone
you.
else on the motion?
You're welcome.
Seeing none, roll call.
This
To-
is just to amend it, right?
Yeah, to adopt it as amended.
Was that the motion that was on the table?
We made a
You said
motion to amend.
amend it.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a
Okay, so-
motion to adopt it?
It's
I'm
a
not
motion to
Councilman
amend.
Ross.
Okay, so
We
we can
voted on
just
the
do it
motion
as a
to
motion
amend.
to amend and then do a motion
And
to
then we'll do a
adopt.
motion
So,
to
yeah, so we're
adopt.
gonna amend it and then do the
Then do
motion.
adoption,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Councilmember Coley?
Yes, to amend.
Councilmember Hilbert is absent. Councilmember Montague the third.
Yes, to amend it.
Councilmember Ross.
Yes, to amend.
Councilmember Summers Johnson.
Yes, to amend?
Council President Wooten.
Yes.
This item has been amended. Is there a motion to adopt it as amended?
Move Wooten.
Second, Easton.
On the motion?
Council President,
Councilwoman Easton.
just so everybody would understand, when we postponed it, and I think, Mr. Engel went through it, by each year it was postponed.
Mm-hmm.
I utilized that time to understand what it was really about, because I was a little confused.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back and did the research and make sure that I fully understood
Mm-hmm.
what scattered sites redevelopment meant. And it
Mhm.
is really a positive thing in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm going to vote yes, because now I understand what scattered sites means. It's not gonna hurt anyone. It's only gonna help if you got a house that you wanna renovate, you have access to the benefits that comes with that and blah, 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 but, so I'm voting yes.
Thank you, Councilwoman Easton. Madam Clerk.
Roll call. Councilmember Coley.
Yes.
Councilmember Eason.
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert is absent. Councilmember Montague III.
Abstain.
Councilmember Ross.
Abstain.
Councilmember Summers Johnson.
No.
And Council President Wooten.
Yes.
Attorney Montilus, it's 3 yes, 2 abstains, 1 no.
6 people in attendance, it passes.
I didn't hear him.
6 people in attendance, 3, 2, 1,
Yes.
it passes. I'm sorry, 3, 1, 2. What's the tally?
3 yes,
3
1
yes.
no, 2 abstain.
It passes.
Okay. 49-2024.
We should, make
There
a
is a motion to amend.
motion to vote down,
Okay,
49-2024.
so ordinance, you're confusing me now. Ordinance 49-2024, an ordinance of the Municipal Council of the City of Orange Township, Essex County, New Jersey, authorizing assignment of the financial agreement relating to Block 3002, Lot 6, more commonly known as 100 Main Street, Orange, New Jersey, from VA 100M Urban Renewal LLC to BSD 100 Main Urban Renewal LLC. So, according to my record, this item was tabled before. So are we lifting this from the table and voting it down?
The agenda says it's
It says
postponed.
It says postponed.
The agenda says it's postponed.
I know, but- Okay, whatever. Maggie went back over it today, but, okay. Is there a motion? No. Are there any citizens who wish to speak? No citizens? Motion to close citizen comments?
Motion to close.
Second, Wooten.
Motion to close citizen comments by Councilmember Eason, second by Councilmember Wooten.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Is there a motion?
Motion to
Motion to
vote this
adopt.
down.
Okay, a motion to vote down by Councilmember Wooten, second
Second, Ross.
on the motion. Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley,
No.
Councilmember Eason.
No.
We're voting this down.
Yes.
We understand that, right?
Yes.
Okay. They both said no. Councilmember Hilbert is absent. Councilmember Montague III?
No.
Okay, and Councilmember Ross?
No.
And Councilmember Summers Johnson?
No.
And Council President Wooten?
No, I'm not. Yes.
No.
Okay.
So-
No, we're voting to vote it down, so it's yes or no. So you should have said yes. So we're not postponing it. We're voting it down. There was a motion to vote it down.
But that's not,
Wow.
Council President, no. Council President, that's not what she presented it. She said we're voting it down,
If
so.
if
so
the
we
answer
need
is
to
no,
vote.
then it's a no vote. If the answer is no, then it's a no vote for the item.
Yeah, it's no.
So it's a
Yeah.
no.
Yes.
No, if I made a motion to vote it down and you say no, that means
No, you're not voting it down.
you know you're not voting it down. I did a motion to vote it down, so it should have been yes.
But you really can't.
So the reality is, it should have just been a motion. And then let the members vote as they're going to vote.
Exactly.
So should I
So,
rescind what my motion
it's the
was?
will of the body. You can rescind your motion and rescind the second. Everybody's got to take back their votes. But you gotta, it can't be labeled as a motion to vote it down, it's just a
No.
motion.
Can't do that.
So what do we want to do, y'all?
That's why I said motion to adopt.
Yes.
That's where we should have went.
So
with
what
the
we're gonna do is rescind.
motion. Yeah, then everybody would have voted
Okay.
no.
So Carrie, you got to go rescind.
Okay. Is there a motion to rescind the vote? The motion was made by Councilwoman Wooten and Councilmember Ross.
So I rescind my motion.
I rescind second.
On that motion? Seeing none, roll call.
This is the motion to rescind the vote?
This is a motion to rescind.
Councilmember Coley,
Yes, to rescind.
Councilmember Eason,
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert is absent. Councilmember Montague III,
Yes, to rescind.
Councilmember Ross,
Yes.
Councilmember Jamie Summers,
Yes.
Council President Wooten.
Yes.
So that's 6 yes to rescind and 1 absent. This item was rescinded. Is there a motion?
Motion, Wooten.
Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt by Councilmember Wooten. Second?
Councilwoman Eason.
Second by Councilmember Eason on the motion. Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley?
The vote down, no.
No, it's a motion to adopt. so-
Motion to adopt.
No.
Oh, no?
No.
No.
You said no, right?
He said no.
Okay. Councilmember Eason?
No.
Councilmember Hilbert is absent. Councilmember Montague III?
Yes,
No.
Yes, you
I
vote.
rescind that.
Up?
No,
No?
yes, no.
No. Okay. You're killing me today. Councilmember Ross?
No.
Jesus, I'm so confused.
Councilmember Summer Johnson?
No.
Council President Wooten?
No. See, we human too, right?
Okay, so. Okay, 50-2024. An ordinance to amend the code of the City of Orange Township, Chapter 200, entitled Vehicles and Traffic, Section 200-52-1, Handicap Parking Spaces, 471 Hillside Avenue. This was postponed on second reading. Are there any citizens who wish to speak on this?
Motion to close citizens' comments, Summers Johnson.
Second?
Second, Ross.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Is there a motion?
Motion, Summers Johnson.
The motion was made by Councilmember Summers Johnson. Second?
Second, Eason.
Second by Eason. And I believe on the motion,
On the
To vote it
motion,
down.
we are on the handicap parking, we're voting them down and they're gonna bring them back. So, to our business administrator, we're voting them down tonight and give them all back to Marty. So he can make the corrections and he'll come back to next meeting with everything that needs to be attached. So we'll start all over.
Council President.
Councilwoman Summers
I'm just
Johnson.
asking. So when it's postponed, we still have to vote on it? We
'Cause
can't leave
We
it,
taking it off the agenda.
taking it off, okay, no problem. Gotcha.
roll call. Councilmember Coley?
No.
Councilmember Eason?
No.
Councilmember Hilbert is absent. Councilmember Montague III?
No,
Councilmember Ross?
No.
Councilmember Summers Johnson?
No.
And Council President Wooten?
No.
This item did not pass. 51-2024, an ordinance to amend the code of the City of Orange Township, Chapter 200, entitled Vehicle and Traffic, Section 200-52-1, Handicap Parking Spaces, 477 Hillside Avenue. 470, is 471?
No,
477 Hillside Avenue, okay. This item was postponed on second reading. Are there any citizens who wish to speak? Motion to close citizen comments?
Motion to close, Ross.
Second, Eason.
Motion by Councilmember Ross, second by Councilmember Eason. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Is there a motion to adopt?
Motion to adopt, Ross.
Second?
Second, Eason.
Motion by Councilmember Ross, second by Councilmember Eason on the motion. Seeing none.
Motion, has the information been updated? Or what are we doing with this,
We're voting it down. I think we don't have all of the information.
We'll bring it back with all the information that's
Right.
necessary.
Right.
Okay, very good.
Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley?
No.
Councilmember Eason?
No.
Councilmember Hilbert is absent. Councilmember Montague III?
No.
Councilmember Ross?
No.
Councilmember Summers Johnson?
No.
And Council President Wooten?
No.
This item did not pass. Um, 10-2025, an ordinance amending the City of Orange Township City Code, specifically Article 8, Section 88-15 and Section 185-13.5 and Section 185-13.6, which address the new procedures for residents requesting curb cuts. Are there any citizens who wish to speak?
Mr. Engel?
Good evening, Brent Engel, 174 Haywood Avenue. I'm curious as to whether or not this will also pertain to like an existing curb cut that is not wide enough. Will I need to go through the similar procedure? Or if during paving, I've noticed that some places have gotten new curb cuts and things like this, will it just be widened in order to fit the driveway?
So widening, as long as it passes the zoning code, would not require you to go through the new curb cut ordinance. If you're adding a curb cut, you have to follow this procedure.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Engel.
Any other citizens? Motion to close citizen comments?
Motion to close citizen comments.
Second?
Second.
Ross.
Motion by Councilmember Eason, second by Councilmember Ross. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion to adopt?
Motion to adopt.
Second, Ross.
Motion by Councilmember Eason, second by Councilmember Ross on the motion. Seeing none. Roll call. Councilmember Coley?
Yes.
Councilmember Eason?
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert is absent. Councilmember Montague III?
Yes.
Councilmember Ross?
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson?
Yes.
And Council President Wooten.
Yes.
So this item passed. Ordinance on introduction, first reading. 2-2025, an ordinance to amend the code of the City of Orange Township, Chapter 179, entitled Sidewalk Cafe, Section 179-7, fees. This item was postponed on first reading and will remain postponed. 3-2025, an ordinance to amend the code of the City of Orange Township, Chapter 200, entitled Vehicles and Traffic, Section 200-52-1, Handicap Parking Spaces, 433 Lincoln Avenue. This item was also postponed on first reading.
So the recommendation is to vote this down.
Yeah. Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt by Council Member Eason, second.
Montague.
Second by Councilmember Montague the third. On the motion? Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley?
No.
Councilmember Eason?
No.
Councilmember Hilbert is absent. Councilmember Montague the third.
No.
Councilmember Ross?
No.
Councilmember Summers Johnson?
No.
Council President Wooten?
No.
This item did not pass. 9-2025, an ordinance to amend the code of the City of Orange Township, Chapter 200, entitled Vehicle and Traffic, Section 200-52-1, Handicap Parking Spaces, 373 Alcott Street. The recommendation is to vote down. Is there a motion?
Motion to adopt.
Second, Wooten.
Motion by Councilmember Eason, second by Councilmember Wooten. On the motion? Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley?
No.
Councilmember Eason?
No.
Councilmember Hilbert is absent. Councilmember Montague the third.
No.
Councilmember Ross?
No.
Councilmember Summers Johnson?
No.
And Council President Wooten.
No.
This item did not pass. 18-2025, an ordinance to amend Chapter 200-33 of the City of Orange Township Code. See a motion to adopt on first.
Move, Wooten.
Second, Eason.
Moved by Councilwoman Wooten, second by Councilwoman Eason. On the motion? Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley?
Yes.
Councilmember Eason?
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert is absent. Councilmember Montague III?
Abstain.
Abstain. Councilmember Ross?
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson?
Yes.
And Council President Wooten?
Yes.
That's 5 yeas, 1 abstain, and 1 absent. The motion passed. 19-2025, an ordinance of the Municipal Council of the City of Orange Township, Essex County, New Jersey, amending Chapter 210 of the Municipal Code of the City of Orange Township, entitled Development Regulations, to authorize and establish standards for installation of electric vehicle supply/service equipment and make ready parking space in accordance with P.L.2021 C.171. Is there a motion?
Move, Wooten.
Second?
Second, Eason.
Motion by Councilmember Wooten, second by Councilmember Eason. On the motion? Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley?
No.
Councilmember Eason?
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert is absent. Councilmember Montague III?
No.
Councilmember Ross?
No.
Councilmember Summers Johnson?
No.
And Council President Wooten?
Yes.
Yes. So that's 2 yeas, 4 nays, and 1 absent. This motion did not pass. Twenty dash 20.
Point of order.
Councilwoman Eason.
Through you to, Ms. Best. Did you say this was a requirement by the state that we had to pass this as a state law?
Yes.
Understanding that we did not know where they would be or which will come later, but we were bad bit for the governor, right? This was a directive from the governor.
Yes.
I don't know if my counterparts understood what she said that earlier.
Yeah, but the thing is, well, for me, I don't know where these charging stations are going to be. I don't know what the costs are going to be on this, so
But that will come later. She has to come back before us to prove where the stations are going to be. This is just the
Right, no
directive from the
stations
governor.
can be installed
Yeah, before they're
without
installed.
coming
We have
back,
to do,
and no stations can be purchased without coming back and getting an appropriation.
exactly.
but we should know where we want to put them.
Well, yeah, you would. You would go through future legislation, but this is a development regulation that would guide that process, and it's required by the state.
It'll come back before us for the locations and the amount it's going to cost and how many we will have. We have to approve that at a future council meeting.
Council President, can I change my vote?
Yes.
Why don't you just do a motion to reconsider, Council President?
I'm sorry. I didn't-
Motion to reconsider?
Yes, ma'am.
Motion to reconsider?
Second on the reconsider.
Second, Wooten.
Motion to reconsider by Councilmember Summers Johnson, second by Councilmember Wooten on that motion.
On the motion?
Councilwoman Summers
On the
Johnson.
record, nothing can be ordered and no site can be chosen until they come back before us.
That's correct.
Okay.
Roll call. Councilmember Coley.
I couldn't quite understand. I couldn't hear clearly. What was just said?
So Councilman Coley, this is a mandate by the governor's office.
The state legislature.
It's state
a new law
legislature.
signed by the governor, and that imposes an obligation on all municipalities to adopt development regulations pertaining to electric charging stations. Any future decision with regard to where they would be located, how much they would cost, et cetera, would have to come back before this body. But this is a requirement imposed by the state.
Councilman, did you
Okay.
hear?
Yes, I heard him. Yes, thank you.
Anyone else on the motion? Councilmember Coley?
This is to reconsider, you said?
Correct.
No, we
Yes.
voted, we already did the reconsideration.
Now we're voting.
This
Now
is
we're
the
voting
This the vote?
Gary.
You're
I
on
mean,
it now.
Council.
Oh, this
Okay.
was reconsidered.
Yes,
Vote.
yes, yes, yes.
Yes. Councilmember Eason?
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert is absent. Councilmember Montague III.
Abstain.
Councilmember Ross.
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson.
Yes?
Council President Wooten.
Yes. (20-2025).
No. Now you have to actually vote. Now you've reconsidered to vote. Now you take the vote on the actual item. So motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt Summers Johnson?
Second, Eason.
On the motion. Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley.
Councilman Coley,
Aye.
it's voting for it. It's voting for it.
Yes,
Councilmember Eason.
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert is absent. Councilmember Montague III.
Abstain.
Councilmember Ross.
Where were we? 19?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson.
Yes?
Council President Wooten.
Yes.
This item passed. 20-2025, an ordinance of the Municipal Council of the City of Orange Township to approve a tax exemption for a 22-year period and authorizing the execution of a financial agreement for payments in lieu of taxes between the city and 27 BSTO Urban Renewal LLC. Motion to adopt.
Move Wooten.
Second.
Second, Summers Johnson?
Motion to adopt on first by Councilmember Wooten, second by Councilmember Summers Johnson. On the motion.
On the motion,
Councilman Ross.
I spoke to the mayor on this one, and we were supposed to get an amended resolution, and we haven't gotten it to this point, so I'm gonna have to
did.
vote no on this.
Actually,
We did. It was
the
emailed.
resolution is the same. The amendments to the agreement attached to the resolution, and it has been amended in accordance with those discussions.
I got that amended resolution in the email today, but that wasn't satisfactory to me. And I spoke to him again about that, and he was gonna re-amend it and send something else.
What time was that?
That was around 3 o'clock or afterwards. I'll tell you when, I'll tell you right now when it was.
Well, what was the amendment that you wanted?
Well, in the First Amendment, it was very vague. He put in there workforce housing. The issue was that we wanted, 10% affordable or workforce housing. And that amendment, he put in there that it's just gonna be workforce housing. I asked him, could we put 10% there, so we can know how many units, would be affordable or workforce? And he said, sure, no problem, but we don't have it today.
Okay, so you could amend it on the record, or you can postpone it and I can bring it back. It's on first reading, so voting it no just means I'm going to start the process over. If you postpone it, then you'll get the amendment between now and the next meeting.
We'll postpone.
So I'm assuming, first, it was a motion to adopt, they have to rescind? Councilwoman Wooten and Councilwoman Summers Johnson.
I rescind my motion.
Rescind.
Rescind the motion.
Rescind the motion.
All right. So now we're on the motion to adopt on first?
No.
Motion
To postpone. Is there a motion?
Motion to
Move.
postpone.
Second. Wooten.
On the motion?
On the motion, this is 2025, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and we're postponing it. Okay, very good.
Yes.
All right.
Councilmember Coley?
Yes.
Councilmember Eason?
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert is absent. Councilmember Montague the third?
Yes. to
Councilmember
postpone.
Ross?
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson?
Yes.
And Council President Wooten.
Yes.
This item has been postponed. Consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered in its normal sequence of the agenda. Council members, are there any items you wish to take off for a separate vote?
Anyone?
No one?
Move on, let's go.
Okay, is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
Motion to,
Second.
motion to adopt.
Okay, motion to adopt by Councilmember Summers Johnson. Second
Second.
Point of
by
order. You have to list them first. Right? You have to call the numbers.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Consent agenda consists of 203, 204, 205, 206, 207, 208, 209, 210, 211, 212, 213, 214, 215, 216, 217, 218, 219, 220, 221, 222, 223, 224, 225, 226, 227, 228, 229, 230, 231, 232, 233, 234, 235, 236, 237, 238, and 239. Motion to adopt the consent agenda.
Motion to adopt consent agenda, Summers Johnson.
Second.
Second. Wooten.
On the motion. Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley.
Yes.
Councilmember Eason.
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert is absent. Councilmember Montague the third.
Yes.
Councilmember Ross.
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson.
Yes.
Council President Wooten.
Yes.
The consent agenda has been adopted. Council members, is there any new business?
Council President?
Councilwoman Summers Johnson.
It's really fast. I need 2 residents, if you would like to be on the Citizens Budget Committee, to contact me through email. I'm looking for 2 residents to put on the committee so that we can go forth with our budget hearings.
And we also need 2 residents of the West Ward to contact us immediately to,
So 2 south and 2 west.
yes, ma'am.
The schedule for the budget hearings, were we changing, I think Councilman Joe.
I only had a problem with one date,
one
the
day.
24th.
24th, and was it the 28th or the 29th?
29.
Thought it was is that the Monday? Should care, let me check. Hold on, let me check.
28.
29th is a Tuesday.
28. 28.
So we
Is
need
the-
to change the 28th,
And the 24th?
yes.
I mean, I can't make it on 24th. If you have a majority, I don't want to hold up.
We want you to be there so you fully understand.
Yeah, yeah.
So just those 2 dates.
Anyone else? Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, Summers Johnson.
Second, Wooten.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
I'm assuming that aye was for
Delayed
to
reaction.
adjourn. All in favor? Yes? Okay. Adjournment time is 9:09.
Thank you. Thank you, Sharon.
You're welcome,
All
thank
right.
you.
Thank you.